In this first look video from InfluenceWP, we are checking out a WordPress plugin called Big File Form Uploads. And as the name suggests, this plugin is going to allow you to get around server restrictions like file size limits. So if users go to upload on one of your front end forms on your website, maybe a large image file or a large video file, and they are met with error messages that stem from max file size, exceeding max file size limitations and things of that nature. This plugin is going to allow you to get around that. It's also going to allow your users to upload more file types, whether it's images, videos, or what have you. Before we poke around the website here a bit and look at the actual solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website and product for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not paid for, they're not sponsored, and they contain no affiliate links. If you would like videos like this created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free partner membership. And we thank Infinite Uploads for being a partner. They are the team behind this plugin. If you like what you see in this video, go over to our website, do a search for Big File Uploads, and grab that exclusive deal. Okay, so the website we are looking at today is infiniteuploads.com. Once you're there, go up into the navigation area under products and just click on Big File Form Uploads. We're going to rattle off all of the features so we make sure that that's covered before we look at the actual solution, because I don't want to miss anything. Then we're going to look for some key pages on the website, like an about page, a changelog, documentation, things like that. All right, so from that same nav area, I see a features link, so let's just click on that. And here we go. So they have simple import, export, transfer, and sync. That's actually wrong. So that's my bad. Let's go back to Big File Form Uploads. I think that's talking more about their Infinite Uploads product. Let's scroll down here. Here we go. Key features of Big File Form Uploads, inherited upload limit. So whatever you set for a max file size within this plugin, it's going to carry over to any forms that you add to your website. Okay, so you set it in one place and forget it. Okay, you can process. I'm guessing you can probably override it on a form by form basis, but I'm not sure on that. Smart upload handling prevents users from submitting the form until all of the files are fully uploaded to the server. So this is going to prevent issues and make sure that that form, when it's submitted, it's captured everything that it needs to capture. Broad file type support. So this is going to allow for more file formats, whether it's images, videos, what have you, above and beyond what a form might allow. Okay. Secure and reliable. So this is going to do secure uploads, and they're going to be chunked, which means let's say you have a large video file, it's going to break that file into smaller parts. So it helps with, the word that comes to mind is deliverability, but it's like it just transfer. It helps with that transfer when you chunk things down into smaller sizes, rather than trying to upload that giant video all in one shot, where you risk timeouts and things of that nature. So you don't want your user uploading a large image or a large video and they're just sitting there waiting, only to see an error message come back on their screen. So that's gonna help with that. This plugin works seamlessly right now with Contact Form 7, Gravity Forms, whether it's single or multi-part uploads, and it works with Forminator. So before I hit record, I read through the website briefly and the documentation briefly, and I saw that Forminator was an option. I know that's a free plugin from the repository, so I dropped that on the site. So that's what we're going to look at today. I'm seeing a link for an about page, so let's go ahead and click on that. Okay, so we've got faces and names, the background, the story, the team members. So great about page. I have talked to Blake, one of the co-founders, extensively. Very nice guy, super generous, very easy to work with. So based on what I know about Blake, I have no doubt that this product will be as good as his Infinite Uploads product. So check both of these out. All right, so next up, I want to look for documentation. Where did I find that before? Okay, that's under support. And then changelog. I could not find a changelog, so a bit of a recommendation there for the team over there. I would have a changelog for your products, put dates along with the version numbers, and obviously the changes in the changelog, okay, with each release. So a bit of feedback there. So here we have the support, and what we're going to see here in a bit, because I had to prep the plugin installs. I'll just actually go to the install real quick. When you use this plugin, Big File Form Uploads, it uses at the base a free plugin that you can get from the repo called Big File Uploads. So you need this one, and then you drop in Big File Form Uploads, which is a paid product. Okay, those two work in tandem, and your settings are actually configured in this Big File Uploads plugin, and then it works hand in hand with Big File Forms Uploads. All right, so that's when you look at this documentation here, and if we just do a search for the word chunk, for example, it's going to look like everything is coming from the Big File Uploads plugin, because in some cases it's kind of intertwined. But you see we have some nice documentation. They talk about what chunking is in here and all of that good stuff. All right. All right, let's go ahead and close all of this down, and I'll leave their website up just in case we need it, but let's go ahead and check out these plugins. Like I said, we configure the settings actually in the Big File Uploads plugin, so let's do that. Over here, we have a max upload size, and we talked about this earlier. Your server is going to give you a limitation, okay? So what we're trying to do here is overcome that limitation. While 128 meg is still a large file for, like, say, images and just documents, once you get into something like videos, then that limitation is going to be a challenge. That's where this plugin comes in. Let's hypothetically say we want to make this 2 gig across the board. Remember, whatever we set here is going to flow out to all of the forms on the site. Okay, so let's say we make that 2 gig and save that. That's going to be for all users on the site using those front end forms. There is a feature here to customize by user role. So we can do administrator, editor, author, shop manager. A bit of feedback here, like a feature request, is I would like to see other roles, because when you're dealing with front end forms on a WordPress website, a lot of times it's going to be the subscribers, it's going to be the customer role, subscriber role, things of that nature, or maybe a custom role. So to have to drop this down and apply this 2 gig limit to all users, that's fine, but it would be kind of cool to do that here as well. All right, we'll go ahead and set this for all users. We will save. They do give you a nice option here to scan your media library and just to see what files are taking up the most amount of space. So that's what you are seeing here, storage usage analysis. If you need more space on your website, as part of our partnership with Infinite Uploads, you can click on this button or just go out to their website and sign up. You can get Infinite Uploads, which is going to allow you to boost your WordPress media library with cloud storage. Okay, and you just get as much storage as you need as your site grows or your needs grow. So that is that. That is a completely separate solution, separate plugin. Also, the exclusive deal over on InfluenceWP. Okay, so we have this configured here. I think that's all we need to do, aside from assigning your license, which I've already done. Let's go over to our plugins. Just want to show you, Forminator is installed. It's free from the repo. We're going to click on the dashboard link here. Let's go, let's see. Looks like they include a form for us here, contact form. So let's go just edit this. All right, so this contact form has a few fields, but doesn't have an upload file field. So let's go ahead and insert a form field. I have never used this plugin, so bear with me. Here we go, file upload. Let's click on that, insert the field. Okay, so here we can do a single upload or a multiple file upload. We talked about this a bit earlier. If you are doing multiple files that are large in size, that chunking really comes into play, as well as that one feature of this plugin where it allows all of those files to fully upload before the user can submit the form. Okay, we'll just go single, and we're not even going to actually test this. I just want to show you that the settings flow, but you can do single or multiple. We'll go back to single. Let's go under settings. Here's those file types. We talked about this as well. You're going to get the file types that are allowed within the actual form plugin. In some cases, your server also can dictate what's allowed. That's where Big File Form Uploads is going to come into play, and it's going to allow you to get around certain restrictions, and it's going to allow you to do more file upload format types, right? Down here, we have the file size limit, and now we see, because we set this to 2 gig, that's where it's already coming in. From Big File Form Uploads is allowing that to be set there, that 2 gig limit. Now, with that in place, then, okay, so with that in place, we can now just do this. We could go up here and do 2 gig, which would be, as they're saying there, we can just copy this value. I'll just type it in 2147. All right, so that's going to give us that 2 gig. Actually, I think a gig is 1024 megabytes, but maybe they have to come under it by one megabyte, just, or maybe they can't go the full value for whatever reason. So, it's not, double would be, what would that be? I'm doing math in my head. Let's just go with what they gave there. I don't want to do math, but a gig is 1024 megabytes, and then you double that, be 2048, right? So I guess I do math. So I'm not really sure where this value comes into play, but maybe something has changed that I'm not aware of. But anyway, so this is now it's allowing you to set this here. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to set this, but if, let's say, I accidentally put a 3000 in there, we see that that's not allowed. We would have to go back into big file form uploads and make that allowance. So I mentioned this earlier about overriding on an individual form basis. So this answers that question. If you still want to just have this form have a max file size limit of 10 meg, for example, we just set that right here. This is just big file form uploads is just allowing you to set that bigger file size if you choose. Okay, the rest in here is just has to do with styling, visibility, your typical form field stuff, right? But what I wanted to show you here mainly was under settings, the file types, and the file size limit. Okay, the only other thing I'll say here is if we go back to plugins and we go under settings, I guess I've said it all. It's pretty much, you only have a few settings in big file uploads. You don't have anything that you need to set specifically under the big file form uploads plugin. You just set your license in there. See, yeah, you do that there, and that's actually done all within the big file form uploads. So I think I've shown you guys everything there is to show you. We're not going to test, like I said, we're not going to test anything here. We just don't need to. So it's just a high level introduction of what is capable here. We don't need to prove that the forms can go through or anything like that. I'm positive they do. So yeah, that is infinite uploads, big file form uploads. Again, if you like what you saw in this video, you're running up against issues with your forms already, or you're just starting out and you want to make sure that your users have a good experience and you want to limit those support requests from minute one after you launch your website, then this is probably a plugin you might want to look at, especially if you are allowing large file sizes or certain file types that you need to allow that aren't currently allowed. So make that user experience great from minute one of launching your site and reduce those support tickets right off the bat. Okay. One more time, if you like what you saw in this video, influencewp.com/deals, get the exclusive deal for big file form uploads. And we thank Infinite Uploads for being a partner. I will see you all in the next video.